By doing so, it created the physical and objective conditions for the split to take place. Now, that split has taken many forms, problems of identification, ideology, political program, etc. But finally, it is on its way to ending. And it's ended because of the changes in the Arab conditions around us. It ended because of the realization that this unity is exactly what our occupying enemy wants us to be in. And that realization was important in seeing the futility of negotiations without unity.
But do you think that this culture of ruling from the other side to Fatah and what's happened with him in the last 3 years, and could overcome, somebody could overcome
it can be overcome. And I think signing of the agreement in Cairo signaled the readiness to make the reunification take place. And you see the anger of the Israelis and the frustration of the Israelis about this unity agreement is an indication of who is the only party that benefits from our disunity. It's occupying enemy. And therefore, ending the occupation is very important. But to end the occupation, we need unity. And the Israelis don't want us to unite. When we were disunited, the Israelis used to say, we cannot make an agreement of withdrawal and peace unless you are one country. We cannot make. And now, once we come close to becoming one country again, they say we will not proceed in the negotiations because you are trying to be one country. We're not going to really listen to the Israelis. We are going to go to our unity, and our unity will lead us to peace, will lead us to security, will lead us to non-violence, will lead us to democracy.
Doctor, regardless of the social fabrics, the problem, how you will be able to cooperate to solve. A lot of people are speaking about killing, about cutting legs. How do you see the mission, your mission here in Gaza?
Our mission is a mission of determination to create real credibility. That signing that agreement meant determination to count and to implement it. It requires that the two parties give in and make concessions in order to reach an agreement. No party would put preconditions, neither in the naming of the Prime Minister or in the dates of meetings of subcommittees. There is a readiness to compromise, a readiness to come to middle way solutions, having agreed on the overall strategy, the overall goal. I think this readiness is there, and it's creating a euphoria of hope among our people. I mean, I am here in Gaza, just about 90 kilometers south of Ramallah, and I feel that the hope, the readiness to reconcile, the optimism is already taking over.
How do you think that Hamas really feeling sorry that she followed up a policy like blowing people from the local buildings, shooting to our knees? What happened? What suddenly happened? How do you understand it?
I have to remind you of what happened in the French Revolution. I have to remind you what happened in the American Civil War. The American Civil War killed more people per capita than World War I, World War II combined. The Civil War in Spain, second killer. I don't want to remind you about the Caucasus, and about the Balkans, and about Cambodia. So people go into times, into situations in which killing each other becomes somehow allowed, somehow done, and then they go over it. But they found the folly, and it ends.
Okay, in this case, how do you react for what General Hamid Gal'ad said, that it's like marriage between Doka and the camel?
Mr. Gal'ad doesn't want us to unite. And, he's going to use every trick in the book to prevent that unity from taking place. And that's precisely what Mr. Netanyahu said. how can a people accept the diktat of the occupier in determining his internal affair, and the foremost decision of importance is the decision to unite?
But how do you see the ultimatum of Netanyahu? Actually, an ultimatum for Fatah to choose between Israel and Hamas. What do you think? What do you expect from Israel to do?
They try to stop the transfer of our money to make it difficult for us to pay our monthly salaries. The international community said, no, you cannot do that. So they're paying back our money. This is our money. This is not a donation for us. But they might even go back to it and try to make our life difficult in passage from place to place, in transfer of goods and services. They're going to make it hard for us. We're used to it. They've done this before, and we're able to overcome. We must be grateful to our Arab brothers, to Europe in particular. But so far, America has not in any way reduced its commitments to the Palestinian people and Palestinian authority. I am confident that we will be able to overcome any obstacles the Israelis might put in our way.
But why some people look for this kind of reconciliation like a kind of pragmatic step from President Abbas and Hamas to reunify their forces against? Do you think it's really pragmatic?
There's nothing wrong with pragmatism. Pragmatism is not immoral in this case. Pragmatism is moral, because if now the Hamas finds that the new Arab revolution, there will be changes in the Arab world that makes only home the base instead of any other base in the world, Damascus or any other place, this is fine. Mazen sees that the new revolution is bringing winds of change in Palestine as well as everywhere else, and that really requires that we go home and make that home a strong and unified base. If we all find a way of strength in any negotiating arena in the future is to be united, what's wrong with that? Pragmatism. Pragmatism in this case is not immoral. In fact, it's patriotic.